Hello everyone and welcome to Flosstube number 16. Hello, my name is Lizzie. Thank you so much for coming to my channel today. I'm going to be filming my 16th Flosstube. I can't believe we're on number 16. I have quite a few things to show you today. So I have 4 finishes, 4 new starts, and then 3 whips, I think. I have it all written down right here. So if you see me glance down any, it's because I'm reading this to make sure I'm giving you the correct information. So let's jump into finishes. So the first one, if you've watched 2 Flosstubes ago, number 14, that would be, I asked for some beading help and you guys delivered. This is the Mill Hill Christmas Village Inn, and here it is all beaded. So first off, I'm stitching this on 25. You can see those beads really well. I'm stitching this, I'm gonna give you a close-up, on 25 count vintage country mocha instead of the included perforated paper, because I do want to do the whole series and finish them as stand-ups. I did use everything else included in the kit, including the flosses and the beads. There is supposed to be a button right here, but I have put him in a safe spot when I moved. I was like, I'm gonna put him in a very safe spot so I don't lose him. So therefore I lost him, because that's what happens when you put things in a safe spot. If you're me, is anybody else like that? Or is it just me? You can see the little bead swag right there for the garland. That's all beads. And how I got the beads to work. So thank you so much to anybody who commented and gave me tips and feedback. Oh, it's so pretty. Oh my gosh. I'm going to start my other one so soon. Once I finish all these new starts, which I'll talk to you about soon because they're smalls, I am going to. But basically what I did is I switched back to the Mill Hill beading needle. I had another Mill Hill kit, and so I just stole one from there. And what I did is I didn't tie a knot around the eye of the needle. I did have a few people comment like, you're not supposed to knot your beads. I'm like, I'm not knotting my beads. When I said I was having issues with the knots, it was the knot in the eye of my needle. So instead of doing that, I didn't knot it. I just kept the tail long, which a few people suggested doing it with a longer tail. And I did it that way, and it worked really, really well. The main beads I was having trouble with were the petite beads. Like the regular beads weren't a big deal. So I did tie a knot for those, but the petite beads, I did not tie a knot. I just left a long tail and held it very carefully. You know, I did have to rethread it a few times, but it went a lot more smoothly. The other idea I did have, which I didn't try because I didn't have this, but I want to get some like wax, you know, that you put on the floss just to, let me hold this up while I talk, that you put on the floss just to like condition it. I thought maybe, and I've never used it, so I don't know if this would work or not, but just an idea I am going to try next time is to get some of that wax and put it on the ends of the thread that you're holding that's not tied, just to kind of like hold it together a little bit. I don't know if that would actually work, but that's my idea, and I may try that next time. If you have tried that or have any opinions on that, let me know. The next finish I have a little bit to talk about, but first let me tell you what it is. It is Holiday Spirit by Samplerbird Stitchery, which is a free pattern. I'm stitching this on 25 count vintage country mocha, and I started this one like literally this week, but it's kind of funny that's the same cut of fabric. It just worked out that those two were right behind each other. So this is vintage country mocha, and I stitched 2 of them, which I'll tell you in a minute, but there's this one. The margins on this one are a little tight, so this one is mine. And then there's this one, let me fold it over so it'll focus a little better, which I stitched for someone else. I did stitches 2/2. The pattern is a free pattern, like I said. It doesn't give you colors, so I use Spinach and Cupid from Classic Colorworks. I did that for my Prairie Schooler down by the chimney. That was the called for colors, and I really liked the way they looked, so I decided to pull them back out here for this project. And the reason why I stitched this and why I started it is because Jenny Massini, I hope I'm saying that right, is somebody who lost her home in a fire during the Hurricane Helene, and Hobbies of Holly posted on her Instagram that she lost all of her Christmas decorations. She did say that she packed a few clothes and some linen because she left to go out of town. She packed a few things like that, like her cross-stitch linen, to put in her car at the airport, and a few things were not lost, but most things were, including Christmas decorations, of course. So she's kind of doing a little thing where you can make Christmas ornaments to fully stitch them, fully finish them, and then send them in. So I'm doing this one and one more. You can do one, you could do multiple if you wanted. But yeah, I just wanted to let you know about that. So if you want more information and want to participate in that, go to Hobbies of Holly on Instagram. And you can get the information there. Just message her and she'll give it to you. But yeah, I did this one. I really have been wanting to do this one for myself, but also kind of felt like as soon as I saw her post that, like this pattern popped in my head. I feel like it was a good thing to have for this time. Joy, hope, peace, wonder, believe. I just feel like that's very inspirational for Christmas, especially when you're kind of going through a hard season. So yes, I stitched that. There is another ornament that I'm working on currently that is also for that. But for that, I have another finish, which is the iced coffee cafe from Cottage Needleworks. But here it is. I did stitch this on the called for fabric, and I used the called for DMC conversion. I stitched this 2/2. Like I said, it's that called for fabric, 32 count something. I'll put it in the description box below. I just love this. I'm an iced coffee girl, no matter the season, no matter the weather, no matter anything, I'm an iced coffee girl. I love iced coffee. So this is perfect. I want to make this into a small little ornament. I think it'll be the perfect size ornament. Kind of do it like I've been doing my Prairie Schooler Santa ornaments, maybe. I think I'm larger than that. But I think it's really, really cute and I love it. And it's stitched up pretty quickly as well. Okay. Now, I feel like I'm going through this very quickly. We have the 12 Days of Christmas Prairie Schooler Santas, and I have my next finish, which is day 7. I'll insert a picture over here, so I did not bring my booklet. But there is number 7, all finished. I did backstitch this one swan in 3371, and now I think he looks weird, so I need to come back and backstitch him. I wanted to sit with it for a couple days, but he looks weird. He needs to be backstitched too. I'll probably just use one strand on him, but he does need to be backstitch. No, I'll probably use 2 just for cohesivity. But yeah, very cute. Once I get about 3 or 4 more of these done, I will finish them. I do want to do a big, you know what, I'm going to talk about that in plans. Next, we have day 8, which I have started but not finished. I honestly probably would have finished that, but I ran out of my green, which is 895. I'm stitching these on 18 count Rustico. Both of these are on that. Let me show you side by side. Like that. There we go. On 18 count Rustico, and I changed the red from 815 to 817. And you can kind of see the difference here, which is kind of cool on this one. Let me write. Okay, so I changed the dark red to 815, which is down here. And that's actually what the main red color is supposed to be. So you can see a big difference there. That's very maroon and that's very red, like Christmas red. So yeah, it's kind of fun to see that difference there. That's what the whole main red color is supposed to be if I use the called for in the pattern. But yeah, that's him, and he's going to have a little cow and a little bucket there. So he's my next one to finish, but I did order the flosses this week. So hopefully those will be here soon. And are you supposed to be in bed? Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Go to bed. Once that green comes in, I do want to go ahead and get him finished and get started on the next one. I am going to keep working away on him though, because I've filled in all of the green, I think, except for on the hat. But I'm going to go ahead and start on the cow and stuff. So I'm going to do that. All right, next we have a new start. This is another one that is going to be an ornament that I'm going to finish to send to Jenny. And this one is Santa Waving Goodnight by the Prairie Schooler. I'm stitching it 2/2 on 32 count. You see my needle up there. On 32 count lambswool that's been coffee tea dyed. This came out of the Just Cross Stitch Ornaments magazine in 2016. Again, I'm using the cupid and the spinach from Classic Colorworks. I just love that combination. And you can see there, that's the curl of his little beard and his belt. So I need to keep working on him. Kind of got his arm outlines. And I do plan on making one of these for me as well. So I'm going to work on 2 of those. I don't know if I'm going to use the overdyes for mine or if I'm just going to use the same Prairie Schooler color conversion I am for these. I haven't decided yet, so I'll kind of see when I get to mine. Next, let me turn my page. This is One Child by Nancy Waller from Faithworks Designs. This came out of the Just Cross Stitch Christmas 2024 edition. And here is what I have so far. So mostly the staple done. You can see up here, I'm like a stitch off, and I'm just gonna fudge it. I don't think it's that important. Once you add, like, there's a bunch of backstitch hay and stuff. Once you add that, I don't think it'll really matter. I'll just add a little extra hay over here. But yeah, there's the animals. There is a charm on it. I don't know if I'm going to do a charm or if I'm going to stitch a star. It does call for chronic, which I'm not going to use. I'm going to use a DMC Etoile. And I actually have only used that Etoile fabric or floss once on a project that was actually my very first project that wasn't like a little tiny mini kit and hoop, which is kind of funny. And oh my gosh, it gave me the hardest time. And at that point, I didn't realize, like, I knew you were only supposed to stitch with a strand or 2 strands, but I didn't realize with the Etoile. I was like, oh, well, this doesn't seem like it separates nicely. So you definitely stitch with all of it. So like half the project has all of it, half of it has like 1 or 2 strands. Oh my gosh, it is a hot mess express. But I'm going to do that for this. And this is stitched on 25 count steel blue from Artiste, which is the Hobby Lobby brand. And I'm stitching it 2/2. Right. And if I forget to mention fabric or any floss conversions or anything, it's always in the description box below. Next is another new start, which is also intended to be an ornament, which I don't know if I mentioned, but this is going to be an ornament as well. That's my intentions. This is actually my very first project stitching on perforated paper. So it doesn't really have a name, but I'm going to call it Rocky. This is a Paw Patrol character, which my son has asked me to stitch. I'm stitching this on 14 count perforated paper, and I'm stitching it 2/1. And actually, I'm using the perforated paper that came in the kit for this Mill Hill. This is the perforated paper that came with it. There is a piece of fuzz, and this is Rocky. So here we go. This is a free pattern. There's lots of half stitches in here, and I will say I'm going to link the pattern below, but if you want to use it, just so you know, it's not the clearest pattern. Like, I questioned some of the half stitches versus, like, there's like a sliver on his eyes, which I haven't done yet. There's like a sliver of white under it that doesn't look like a full stitch, but it's literally like a sliver. It doesn't look like a half stitch either. It's kind of confusing. Some of these you have to take some liberties to line them up, because you'll have a full stitch. Like, so this is a full stitch, and you'll have half stitch, half stitch. And so you just kind of have to like line those up. And it's not like it's supposed to be that way. Like you're stitching on linen, it's supposed to be that way. It's like muddied, because even the black on his nose, like, are not individual stitches. It's just colored in black, and those right there were just colored in black. So it's not the clearest pattern, but I can read it enough to like get the gist and like take liberties when I need to. But yeah, I'm excited about him. He was specifically requested by Sunday to have a Paw Patrol ornament, so this is gonna be his. I'm gonna try to stitch one more before Christmas. My plan is to put my tree up the weekend of November 16th. So all these ornaments have to be done by then. And of course, I want to get those other ones in the mail sooner the better. So yeah, they all have to be done by then. So these are my priority. All these ornaments are definitely my priority for the next 2 weeks. And we'll see if we can get another one started and finished. Next, another new start. This one I kind of thought I was going to start it and finish it or get really close, but that didn't happen because of the fabric, which I'll talk to you a little bit about. So this is the side and the top of the roof line is what that is. And this green is actually the DMC called for. And this is the called for overdyed. So you can see there's a big difference there, and that's going to be the same for that too. So I think I may actually change this when I stitch that on here. But there's something about this fabric I just don't love. And the only word that comes to mind, which may be a bad descriptor, is it's spongy. It just feels spongy. And I don't know. It's a beautiful fabric. I'm going to push through and finish stitching it. The holes are clear, but even when you are like stitching it, I don't know. It just feels spongy. It just doesn't feel nice. It's not rough. I don't know if you can kind of see that. It's not rough, but it just feels spongy is the only word that can come to my mind when I think of it. I've tried to think of other things. because as I was stitching, I was like, this is so spongy. And I was like, I cannot say that in my Flosstube video. I need to think of a more descriptive word. But I can't think of another one. You've stitched on this fabric. It's 16 count woodland. It just says 16 count woodland Ada fabric. It's from 123 Stitch. Stitched on this. Let me know if you feel the same way, because it just feels different. It just feels weird to stitch on. It's not enjoyable to stitch on. I'm gonna push through and finish it, but because the fabric is so pretty. But just a side note there if you want to stitch that. Next, I have a Mary Yerger 1859. This is from Just Stitching Along, and it is a free pattern. I did work on this one. This is a sampler I chose to keep out and keep working on. So this is what I have. I did another row of that, the words. I finished the alphabet, and then I worked down here because I had some extra floss. And then there's one more row of text, and then I'll be to the motifs. So this is being stitched on 32 count vintage smoky white, and I'm stitching it 2/2. Here's what it looks like from afar. Feel a little bit more of a close-up. I love the way my stitches are looking on this fabric. I love the colors. I think that alphabet is absolutely beautiful. I definitely am going to continue working on this one. So then hopefully in the next video I can get started on all the little motifs, which I'm really excited to get to. Next whip is Gilmore Girls by Stitch Area, and I have mentioned before that this one is not available on their Etsy, like on their listings. You do have to message them and they'll give you this one or a smaller one, which is a hoop. And here's what I have. I feel like I've done a good bit of work on this one. This was my main focus last week, so I didn't work on anything on the top. So I'm gonna go ahead and fold it in half and come down. We have the Gilmore Girls, and then we have, if we come down here, we have what I worked on. So first I did What Is Much, and then I did the black outline on the books. Then I came over and did this quote right here. Let me fold it one more time just so you can get a better view. It says, I live in two worlds. One is world of books. We have that. Then I worked up to the I Spell Snow. I did the Jeep. I started on the little rocket that Logan gives Rory when he goes to England, but I didn't finish the back stitching. It just needs black back stitching and then I'll be done. And then I filled in the pages, that light color on the books. And since I already had that color, I started filling in this box here, which when I come back, I'm going to finish filling in this box, probably do the text, and then fill in the books. But yeah, this has been my main focus, and I've done a lot on this one. I feel like it's a lot. Yeah, I really want to keep working away on this. Like I said, my goal is to maybe finish the bottom by the new year. I don't know if that'll happen, but I feel like if I just keep working on it and keep putting progress on it, even if I don't meet that goal, I won't be upset about it. And I didn't mention, but this is stitched on 32 count lambswool 2/2. Okay, and then the last whip is the Deadly Aquarium. I haven't done a ton on this. It's still in the hoop because my plan is to work on it tonight, but there's the whole thing. And then here is what I have worked on. So you can see I started the Don't Touch Pull. So this is like where I'm cutting off my page break at because it'll be easier for me. I am using the PDF, so I'll like pull it up on my laptop and look at it on there. So it's easier for me to like mark and then come over. That's like a 10 stitch line there. So anyway, I need to finish this, which I think mostly it's just back stitching, which I'm gonna do all at the end, and then I have to fill in that light blue, and then I just need to continue it along. But this is these stitches are deceptively time consuming because there's so many colors. Like those rocks I think have 4 grays in them. So it does take more time than you would think it would when you're working on it. You're like, oh, this will be easy. I only have this little part left, but it does take some time. I think that was, honestly, I think that was a full night's worth of work. Everything I put in there and then finishing that second purple color. So yeah, it does take a little bit of time. This is one that I don't pick up. I'm like, I'm going to put a strand in. This is one when I sit down and work on it, I want to work on it. So for that reason, I feel like it's not getting picked up as much right now because my life just isn't allowing for that as much. I'm tired at night. I don't want to go to bed. But yeah, I'm loving that. And this one 36 count Nessie 1/2. Thought they called for flosses. And I'm really loving the way it's turning out. I can't wait to get that one finished. Just because I want to see it framed and hung on a wall. The last thing I have to show you is a project that I plan on kitting up soon. And I wanted to show it to you because I do have plans for this as well. And I don't have any haul today, but I want to talk through a few plans. So this is my memorabilia. And you may have seen this when I did the haul for it. I think that was the only time I've showed it. But my plan is for this to be my New Year, New Start. normally I'm the type of person who does not stay up to New Year's. I'm like, I'm gonna go to bed about 10 or 11. Like, I'm trying to go to bed, but I'm gonna stay up and I want to stitch on this. I'm not gonna do the every hour during the day because I know that's not feasible for my life, but I am going to work on this for at least 2 or 3 hours that night on New Year's Eve. And I've really been wanting to start this for a little while, and it just seemed like the perfect time. So I have all the DMC already, which you can see in here. Some of them, there's quite a few. Some of them are bobbinated, some of them are still on the skeins. I think there was one I was missing, so I went back through and checked. I need to get the beads, and I need to get the Karen water lilies. There's also a DMC blend, which is really interesting. I've never used a blend before. And I need to get a fabric. So yeah, I beaded that Mill so now let's work on a Mirabilia. Yeah, I don't know. It's going to take me a while to finish this one, but I'm very excited about it, and that is my planned New Year, new start. Another plan I have, let me put this back in the bag before I lose everything. Another plan I have is to finish all of those ornaments. So that would be the Rocky, the manger, fully finish the ones I showed you, the little word ones, which are going to be in the shape of Christmas trees. Finish that. The waving Santa from the Prairie Schooler. Any of the Prairie Schooler 12 Days of Christmas that I haven't finished, I want to finish them. I want to get that Rocky done, and hopefully one more Paw Patrol ornament. We'll see how that goes, but hopefully I want to have all of those done by November 16th, because when I decorate my tree and I put it up, and I don't like to mess with it after it's up. Besides, I'll be like, there's a hole here and I'll need to move an ornament around. I do that a lot. But I'm very particular about how I decorate my tree, so I don't like to have to move things around and stuff like that. Once it's decorated, it's decorated. Unless I like fine tune everything, I'll move an ornament up a branch, if you get what I'm saying. But yeah, those are my plans. So kind of everything else is on the back burner. I really wanted to do a lot of Halloween starts, but the more I'm kind of like working on projects, I'm realizing I should have done those in like July, August. Because now I'm in Christmas mode where I'm like preparing for Christmas, and so I want to be stitching ornaments. And then when the tree's up, I want to stitch my bigger Christmas projects. So I don't know. I may have one Halloween new start next week, or I might just work on my the one from the Primitive Hairless Spooky Countdown, because I do want to do some Halloween stitching next week, because next week is Halloween. So I'm going to do ornaments and one Halloween project. So I have to decide what that's going to be. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon with a Thanksgiving free pattern video. See you next time, guys. Bye.